We're late to go visit some friends this morning and somebody forgot to put the car on de-ice. Oops. Right, let's get you in to see your friend. So while the girls talk girly things and the boys, I'm out on my electric skateboard. Because, you know, look at the weather. How could I possibly say no to this? Did forget to bring my helmet though, so speed is somewhat limited compared to normal. That was good fun. And now back to work. Well, for me, they're going shopping. We're gonna have some quick lunch now, and then I've got to get on with editing because I'm way behind because it was Soph's birthday yesterday. So, you know, obviously I didn't really do any editing or anything particularly productive. It was all just about having fun. Yeah. Just got my charge bank out of the summer house, fully charged now. Because it's a nice sunny day, batteries are doing really well, which is awesome. But it also kind of wrecks my little experiment somewhat, because when the sun's out for 4 or 5 hours, everything gets charged up. So now, at the moment, all the batteries are fully charged. And all the cameras are fully charged, and all the laptops are fully charged. So in other words, so far, the whole solar powered vlogging thing is going fantastically well. But what I really need is a run of moderately cloudy days to see if I can keep all the batteries charged in that situation. So, as it's going quite well so far, I'm going to carry on solar vlogging. Also, I quite like the fact that because I'm solar vlogging and everything is powered by batteries, it frees me from being upstairs where I've got my hub of wires, which is great because it means I get to sit down here and do my editing. And hi Soph.
Hi, how long is this solar vlogging going to go on for then?
I don't know, give it another week.
So it's just vlogging through the sunshine.
Yes, vlogging through the sunshine.
Sunshine vlogging, let's call it.
Yeah, everything is, basically everything, all the cameras, my phone, a laptop, the whole lot is solar powered at the moment.
Since when?
For 3 days now.
Gosh.
Yeah, the problem is though,
because
it's sunny. Yeah, yesterday was horrible and the batteries did lose a bit of power, but yesterday was like totally horrible. The question is, would they stay reasonably charged through a run of, you know, moderately cloudy days?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I in focus? No, I'm not in focus and I can't hear myself because I've got these on. Righty. Well, so far the solar experiment is going really rather well. Except for the fact that, yeah, this is completely out of power now, so I'm going to take it over to the summer house and get it charged up. These things, by the way, are brilliant. I had a bit of a shock though. Went on Amazon to see if I could get a bigger one, because, you know, you can never have too much mobile portable battery storage. And they're not in stock. No sign of when they're going to be back available. So that's really gutting, because I think these things are brilliant. You can get them in the US still. You basically have a power brick and you can connect this cable here with the MagSafe 2 into the power brick. So you can either power the laptop directly or you can charge the battery and then use that to power the laptop, or you can sort of daisy chain them so it'll charge this and the laptop at the same time. Really great bit of kit. Hopefully they'll be back in stock some point in the future. Now, what I was going to talk about today is the Tesla semi-truck, because I think it's brilliant and I think there is a huge amount of potential for this vehicle in terms of actually, I mean, I think it's going to be great for Tesla. Don't get me wrong. There's already companies making pre-orders for, you know, reasonably large numbers of them. They're going to start production in 2019. It's going to have a 500-mile range. Going to be able to use a mega charger, whatever that is, to recharge 400 miles in 30 minutes. It's got fantastic specs in terms of, you know, the kind of weight it can haul and at what speed and at what sort of gradient, and, you know, really very impressive and quite a nice looking truck as well. However, that's not actually what I think the best thing about this truck is. You know, it's good for Tesla, but the best thing about it is the fact that I think it really starts to put to bed this idea that there is a type of vehicle that you can't drive on batteries. Because I really don't think there is. I think the primary problem is that the batteries aren't available and they're not cheap. And the reason they're not available and they're not cheap is because we don't make large-scale lithium-ion batteries yet. What we do is we make small ones, you know. Loads of small batteries, sure. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is taking the industrial might that has gone into coal and oil production for the last 50 years and applying that kind of energy and economic resource towards manufacturing batteries and designing good ways of recycling them so that we don't have to continuously pull new raw materials out of the ground, which wouldn't work because there are certain raw materials which probably would start to get quite scarce. You know, recycling going to be essential, but also going to be something that is done, I have absolutely no doubt, because apart from anything, it'll make economic sense to do that. So you can't recycle oil. Have you noticed that? So for a long time, you know, I'd say, well, the entire length of time that this vlog has been going, there are always people, and I'm sure there will continue to always be people who say that you can't, you know, long distance haulage, that's going to need to be hydrogen fuel cells eventually, or methane, or just plain old diesel, because you wouldn't be able to make batteries work for it. And effectively what Tesla is doing is proving that that is not the case, that you can make batteries work for it. So then the question becomes, can you overcome the engineering challenges associated with the production of those kind of scale batteries at a reasonably cheap price? Because if you can, then you've got that problem solved. But here's the thing, right? People seem very good at overcoming manufacturing problems when it's and I don't mean manufacturing from a sort of a science point of view, you know, like these sort of scientists who say, we've got this fantastic little cell, battery cell, and it's got an amazing life and huge voltage, and of course all we can actually make is in a lab over 6 months, a tiny little cell that could barely run your watch. Well, that's a problem where to overcome the production issue requires science, whereas for lithium-ion batteries for something like a long-distance truck, it's not science that's required, just good old-fashioned manufacturing technique, processes, getting the raw materials in the right places at the right time, you know, the kind of problems that are actually reasonably easy to fix. All you've got to do is throw a few market forces at the problem and usually, hey presto. And if that's the case, then fantastic. Because I'm really sense that the shift away from oil is going to have to be driven by an advantage. It's not, people are not going to move away from oil because they have to. You know, it's like, it's the stick and the carrot, isn't it? That's basically the thing. I cannot see how we are ever going to get off oil and gas and other fossil fuels if the reason why we're moving away from them is because there's a man with a stick saying you have got to leave them alone. If you make it a carrot, and this is what Tesla has always tried to do, they've always tried to make the reason why you move away from fossil fuels because it's better to move away from fossil fuels. And if you do that because it's cheaper and better for your truck, or faster and more fun and better and cheaper for your car, then I think people will migrate in their droves, and petrol and diesel will be relegated to curiosities and, you know, old-fashioned vintage cars that turn up at funky shows and everyone thinks, oh, that's amazing, oh, that takes me back, I remember the chug chug chug, you know, a bit like with the old traction steam engines, which I think are fantastic, but you don't see a lot of farmers ploughing their fields with them anymore. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post and found it interesting. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I will see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. Because what I'm trying to work out here is if I was to scale the whole thing up so that it fitted on the roof, would that then mean that we could still be more or less off-grid in winter? Or...
That reminds me, what's going on with our solar panel?
Still with the planning people, and will be for ages. Which
Okay.
reminds me, actually, I need to tell Tesla to send me the Powerwalls, and I'll stick them in the garage if I have to.